Hi everybody, this is JoJo Verdejo and I want to welcome you to my next webisode of the JoJo Verdejo project. And now, this webisode features my fan artwork, my fan artwork from the show JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This one right here is my man, Jonathan Joestar. Please excuse me for stuttering, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is Jonathan Joestar. He's the first generation of the Joestar family to become a hero in 18th century London. No, wait, 19th century, I'm sorry. It was like 1880s perhaps that way, yeah, that's it. The 1880s. So, anywho. So, I suppose you want to know why did I draw Jonathan Joestar and why did I draw the stand as Tusk Act 4 behind him in the first place? Do you want to know why? I just want to know what it's like to draw a couple of characters from part 1 with a stand reference. And how does Tusk Act 4 get into it? Oh, simple, because I just got to hit that stand for his alternate counterpart, Johnny Joestar. I mean, sure, why did I choose Act 4 in the first place? Because he packs punches, just like Jonathan does. And of course, recap, the first 3 forms from Steel Ball Run, it shoots like kind of like bullets or anything. That's how I played Johnny Joestar in All-Star Battle for PS3. So that's the reason why I chose Act 4 form Tusk for Jonathan Joestar. Like I said, they both pack punches. Oh, just to be perfectly clear, just in case if I almost forgot, I don't own the rights to the series. I'm just doing it as a fan artwork, nothing else. I mean, the color looks so great. I mean, but I forgot the circle and the star, the details. I missed the details before I started coloring. So, shame on me. Now, I'm going to show you my next one. I'm sure you remember him, Dio Brando. He was the main villain for part 1 and part 3, but in this case, I want him to have the world stand in part 1 instead, just like in a light novel horror Joestar in the alternate timeline. And yes, Jonathan Joestar still dies in the alternate timeline, which is kind of stupid. That could have been better. But so right now, I'm doing this way better than this. And yes, his head is a little bit bigger than his body, so again, shame on me. Well, sort of in that way, if you want to put it. So I could fix his head, but I'm not gonna do it. But I would simply fix his torso, his legs, making his legs a little bigger. Cause I think his legs are a little small. But the standard world, I don't know why, but I just drew it for the artwork for PS3. But I need to fix his right eye, so it looks kind of crooked. It looks so freaking crap, all crappy like that. But I want to fix his legs too. I want to fix his legs and make it better. So it's okay. I'll update it eventually before I can record this video. See, look and make it look better. This next one's right here is Father Styx. He made a small part at the turning point of the Phantom Blood storyline. As you notice the stand, he's from the music video Mr. Roboto by the band Noah Styx, which is how the Father Styx name came from in the first place. And please know, Father Styx was a drunken priest before he accidentally unleashed hell upon the cruise ship right before a big metal ball destroyed him, killed him, and pop his head off just like that. It was kind of stupid. So again, I figured about changing his name to something else besides Mr. Roboto, because I don't like the idea of naming it after the music video or whatever. So I'm probably gonna rename it as Mr. Robotic or Mr. Robotics. No, you know what? Mr. Robotic sounds better. Next. I'm sure you will recognize him. This is Cool Eyes from Stardust Crusaders. And I chose the background that was used to see the spirit forms of Avdo and Iggy before they departed. So I decided to use it as a paid tribute, because in the anime show and the manga, Pono was the one who killed Cool Eyes all by himself, since Cool Eyes killed Avdo and Iggy. But this case, but my version says, is a different story. I want the all team of Star Wars Crusaders kill Cool Eyes, just like in a Super Nintendo RPG game. That was perfectly well done, by the way. Thank you. Well, the drawing too, but the game itself, perfectly well done. Next one right here. This is Will Zeppeli. He's one Hormone Masters. And that's his stand or Shadow Dog, which is kind of like loosely referenced to Black Dog, the song by Led Zeppelin. I know what you're gonna say, man, but then again, I could probably lose the beard because just for that, I want to fix those details. I should have given him the eyes, the nose, and the mouth just for that. So I'll probably fix them. And everything else is look good. I just want to see what is cool was like if Will Zeppeli has a stand. This one is Jonathan's father, George Joestar. And he's going to have a stand called The Passion. What it does is it tells the future of what's going to happen. I mean, The Passion was kind of like loosely created by Hirohiko Araki, the man who invented the series, by the way. Which I kind of give him a credit for, to his due. But I just want to see what it's like if George has his own stand. You know, but I cannot say how he's going to get it in the first place. But sometimes I want to picture that out. And yeah, his face looks like he's ready to kick the bucket, if you know what I mean. This is it. Look at this. This is part 2, Jonathan Joestar, and he's still with Tusk Act 4. Pretty cool. I mean, I just want to see what Jonathan's look like if he's like kind of like an old man at all. But he looks good. I would picture him in his early 70s, but it still look like it is. He still has his face in his 50s, whatsoever. But he looks great. But I figured it looked good at all. But his hairdo needs to work. But still mostly youthful looking at all. Still middle aged. It's because the effects of hormone, you know, keeps him from slow aging. Again, part 2 Jonathan Joestar looks pretty good. This one right here is Jorge Joestar, whose real name is indeed George Joestar II. He made a small appearance in Battle Tennessee in a flashback right before he was devoured by a Dio zombie. He didn't come on a hormone or a stand, you know. It was kind of a shame. Why? Because he didn't get to know his father at all. Because his father died very young, back in 1889, where Dio used his laser eye beams to pierce Jonathan's throat. That was a false move, I'm afraid. But my case, my version says, not only Jorge Joestar is a hormone, but a stand user. So, I can imagine if his grandfather, George Joestar, handed the passion over to his grandson, and just to tell the future at all, same thing, same abilities at all, but it's good. Here it is. Recognize him? That's Robert E.O. Speedwagon. He's one of the survivors of part 1, but he grew old in part 2. And no, he's not really a hormone user, so I like him as a thug, but he was originally a thug until he became good friends with Jonathan Joestar. But I let him pass to the pharmacy to get some medicine for his father. And these guys over there, those are the contour drawings I drew for one of my old drawing books I once had by Christopher Hart. So I decided to make a muscle man I decided to call them Strong Guys, which is kind of like loosely reference to the song Tough Guys. What inspired me to do that? I believe it's one of those YouTube subscribers who asked a question, what if Speedwagon had a stand and what the name would be? He said Tough Guys, so I decided to draw him and call him Strong Guys. And yeah, Speedwagon's face needs to work. No thanks to the Eyes of Heaven game. This one is Dire, one of the Hamon Warriors, and that's his stand called Twister. Well, I kind of take the artwork from for the song called Twisted Pool by Dire Straits. And I mean, sometime around, I'm gonna update him. I'm gonna give him like a neck, the eyes, nose, and a mouth. And since I have my drawing figures, I can fix them at ease. You know, just give him like a proper updation. Give him an update. This one is Strazo. Also a Hamon user in Fan of Blood and of course Battle Tendency right before he apparently stabbed Speedwagon to death. He obtained a stone mask as to become like a vampire. And then so I decided to make him not only as a Hamon, but a stand user too. This is his stand known as Whirlpool, which is loosely referenced to the song Twisted Pool also. There's the guy right there. He's the master of the Hamon, Tom Petty. And of course, he has a stand I created for him from one of the artworks for the songs by Tom Petty, known as Wildflowers or anything. So I decided to call him Sunflowers. I mean, it's not that bad as it looks, but it looks okay. Oh wait, one more thing. What it does is that I don't know what abilities is gonna be, but I can probably tell the Sunflowers could give out some light beams, whatever, sunbeams, to eradicate all the vampires, like, you know, just for that. Now, surely you may recognize him from Golden Wind. Yes, that's Giovanna, as Giorno Joestar. Why Joestar? Because he is biologically related to John the Joestar. And why is that in Golden Wind? Because Dio's head stole John the Joestar's body at the end of Phantom Blood, which is the stupidest turning point story I've ever seen. I'm sorry, but seriously, folks, I don't like how it's perfectly well done. So, in my fan art version, not only he's going to be the biological son of John the Joestar, the brother of Jorge Joestar, but he will be, let's see, an ancestor to Giorno Giovanna from Part 5 Golden Wind. But don't worry. There's always going to be another Giorno from Golden Wind, because the Golden Wind Giorno will be a descendant to this Giorno from Part 1. But yes, Giorno, Part 5 Giorno will have the same stand as Part 1 Giorno as I'm doing this. So he's probably going to be in a Hamon and stand user, just like his brother, his father, just like that. I want this to be like a Gohan, Goten, and Goku like at a DBZ, but they're not gonna be full-blown scenes go like that. No. I don't want to be like too much a DBZ at least. This one here is Mario Zeppeli. He's the son of Will Zeppeli, but the father of Caesar Zeppeli. And yeah, see, that stand is Zoho. I just drew the old wizard for the cover artwork, music hit single. I forget what the name was, by Led Zeppelin. No, wait, I believe it was Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, it was Stairway to Heaven, I believe. And yeah, I kind of messed up with the angles like this, but I took care of that. But now, because in the flashback scene, Mario Zeppeli saved Caesar's life. And then it cost his own life by the Pillow Man when they dragged him to the wall. That was a shame, but no one get to know him better. So my fan art says, not only he's a Hamon, but a stand user too. Sorry about this, folks. Oh, you like this one? This is funny. This is really, really funny. I like this one the most. This is my artwork I did like so a couple months back. I mean, it should have happened in both the manga and anime, but I decided to draw him just for kicks. I have Iggy jump on Dio's face. I farted him, just like that. It looks pretty. I know it looks pretty disgusting, but it's funny at the same time. Here's some mistakes I made, but here or there, a little mistakes right there, and here or there. There's a little mistakes right there, but everything else is all good. I like this one. Here's a quote that says, "Ah, no one does that to Dio and lives." This is where Dio gets pissed off with Iggy farting in his face, just like that. He mostly did a portal rap, but I wanted to do my Dio, what it should have happened in the anime. Keep that in mind. After the rest of the gang, they all fight Dio at once in a Super Nintendo RPG game. And let's not forget Iggy, who fought and defeated Dio in his own arcade story mode in fighting game by Capcom, I mean, which is a good ending. Now this one's pretty neat. This is the one, okay, I'm sure you know the flashback scene where Abdul encountered Dio before he ran like hell for his dear life in fear. But this, okay, I'm not trying to reboot the flashback scene. No. The flashback scenes can stay the same as it is, but this, I want this to be like a turning point in the story instead of being killed off by Cool Ice. Okay, this is the one where Avdol faces Dio again, but this time all strong, all fearless with courage. But he's going to be defeated by Dio, but he's not going to die. He's probably going to get knocked down by a near-death experience. And I didn't get a chance to draw a background, so look at that. This is pretty good. I like this fan art way better. Now this next one right here. Oh, wait a minute. This is the ultimate lifeform Dio. I used his face from Part 3 Dio, Stardust Crusaders. And the rest came from the other Dio from the World Heroes series. Now here's some mistakes I made right there. Just right there mostly. Hey, this one looks good. It's okay. It's not so bad as it looks, but just to give you an imagine what if scenario, what if Part 1 Dio showed up in Part 2 Battle Tendency? What if he stole the Aja Stone from Cars so he become an ultimate life form? Make sense? And this one right here, this is also the other ultimate life form Dio. I used his Dio's face from Part 1 Dio. And the rest also came from other Dio from World Heroes. I made a couple of mistakes. There's some mistakes right there. There's some mistakes right there. But there's some mistakes right there. But everything else looks okay. It's not so bad. There's some mistakes there. Again, just want to know what happened if the Part 1 Dio became an ultimate life form in Part 2. Okay, Bob. Okay, the next one is Old William Zeppeli. I decided to call Part 2 Old William Zeppeli instead. So I would like to have him show up in Part 2 as a 100-year-old man with still got plenty of hormone left in him. I guess he still carried a Shadow Dog stand. Again, which is kind of like loosely reference to a Black Dog single by Led Zeppelin. But I'm going to fix him. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to ditch that beard, put his eyes, nose, and a mouth. Just for that. You like this one, folks. Here it is. Here it is. Caesar Zeppeli, son of Mario Zeppeli, grandson of Will Zeppeli. And there, this is the same stand as alternate counterpart gyros that we use. Ball breaker, as one of the writers like to call it, the ball buster. Okay, so there are some mistakes I made. I made his shoulder too big, so one of my friends told me, and he was right about it, so I told him I'm going to fix it, and I did. There's a little mistakes here. It's okay. But everything else is all good. Caesar can still use his bubble cutter technique, while his stand could do his own thing, make it look like a pretty hit combo. You know what I'm saying? Almost there, folks. Almost there. Here it is. This next one is here. Okay, I'm sure you recognize this scene where Cream kills Avdol inside Dio's mansion, which in case I'm not really happy about that. So I decided to redo that scene where he misses Avdol, but instead he disintegrates Billie Jean as a consolation. You know who Billie Jean is? Also known as Kenny G. And believe me, Billie Jean had the crappiest stand called tenor sax. It creates illusions whatsoever. And sure, he was defeated by Iggy without putting in a good fight. But in my fan art version says, I want Cream to kill Billie Jean when he misses Avdol. Straightforward, just like that. And yeah, someday I'm going to have to put some backgrounds. This one I did. This is the other drawing I did last year, along the one where Cream kills Billie Jean. But this is the one where Cream picks up Billie Jean's arms. And he eats them. Well, this is what's left of Billie Jean anyway. But made a couple of mistakes. This is a mistake I made. This is the mistake I made. This is the mistake I made. But this is also a mistake that needs to be fixed. So I'm going to create that. It has to be supposed to be a circulation. And I did not get a chance to draw a background. I'm sorry, folks. But thank you. We're at the home stretch, folks. But sure, this is the same scene from Stardust Crusaders in Dio's mansion, when Avdol punches partner of Iggy to get out of the way, right before Avdol was killed by Cool Ice. If you can look close, if you look at this, I give Iggy his pullback. Why did I did that? Because I wanted to. Also, what happened is this. At the end of part 1, the Guardian Pet Shop, the Pet Shop's stand called Horus attacks Iggy, and his right paw was stuck. Then by part 2, when Pet Shop attacks again, Iggy, he kind of like amputated himself to set him free. Okay, that was kind of like the dumbest move. That could have been better. So I want Iggy, he should have got away for the first attempt from Pet Shop. We had a chance. That could have been like a smart choice there. Make sense? Now here's right here. This also I give Iggy his paw back right there. We'll do a sequence with Porter having Iggy flying off to the wall, but this one does not count. I don't like that one. That one looks too ugly. I messed up there. I know I want to do it like a small panels and make it look like kind of like a manga-ish. But this one does not make the cut. The other 3 does make a cut. Oh wait. Except I need to draw the background, so I'm gonna fix that. And finally, this is it. This is how it is so far. Still there, still got his paw, And I did not include the background. But this one's almost finished. right there. After that, then I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let the rest of it be for that. I want to combine my fan artwork once it's illustrated with those clips, Again, it's not. I don't own the rights. I'm doing this as a fan artwork. So when they convince creators to remake, or should I say loosely adapt to the series to make it look good, give it a makeover, just like a Cobra Team who did a Super Nintendo RPG, which is loosely adapt to the series, to the Stardust Crusaders storyline, and that Super Nintendo game was 10 times better than the anime and the manga itself. They made a perfect ending in that game, well, all including Abdul, Polnareff. I'm sorry, not Polnareff survived the whole thing, but Iggy and Kakyoin survived their battles against Dio 2 without being killed off. In a Super Nintendo RPG game, which was perfectly well done with a perfect ending. The ending was beautiful. You just need to see it on YouTube when you get a chance. And so there you have it, folks. We're coming to the conclusion to my second webisode of my show. I want to thank you to see my fan artwork. I know some figure this is, may like it, some people don't, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind criticism. I don't mind being appraised in anything, but I like it. So, anywho, I want to thank you. If you want, you can hit the subscribe button just to subscribe me in case you want to watch my first webisode of my show. So, this is JoJo Verdejo saying good night. And,